Sure, I'll do it. It's no problem. Although I might be tired, it's fine. No worries. It's okay. Have you ever been in situations where you agree to something that you really don't want to do? Or you're super defeated and you're not listening to your body, and your body's like, sis, rest. This is what we call people pleasing and not setting boundaries. What is the meaning of boundaries? I have been, I got my badge, and it is not of honor, a people pleaser for majority of my life. And I posted on my TikTok a while ago, where do you think people pleasing stems from? Do you think it stems from childhood? Do you think it stems from like relationships as an adult? Like, where do you think it comes from? For me, I feel like people pleasing and not setting boundaries at the end of the day came from when I was a child, when I had when my stepfather was just really mean to me out of nowhere, and I just didn't understand it. So I just did anything that in my little 7-year-old mind that I felt would get him to like me again, to love me again, to be on my side. And from then on, I feel like that badge of people pleasing came into play. So I am a recovering people pleaser. There's still probably like 15%. Just be honest. 15% of people pleasing still left in me, but it's all good. I am a work in progress. I am still growing. So these are things that I've learned so far with the help of therapy. Some of y'all out there act like y'all want to do therapy, and it is good for you, cause so cut it out. Having a good support system, friends, family, and journaling. Life too. Life lessons have definitely helped me become a recovering people pleaser. Before I get into anything, people pleasing and not setting boundaries for self is like abandoning ourselves for someone else. And at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, you understand what I'm saying? So if you abandon yourself for somebody else, how are you the best version of yourself? And in this life, we try our very best, at least we should, to be the very best version of who we are. We all gonna fall short. We're not perfect. We are human. But to take away from yourself to pour into somebody, and you're not even doing that for you, that's just not gonna work. Self-awareness. So this took me a while, because honestly, until I became an adult, I did not know what I wanted out of, like, I knew what I wanted out of life as far as career goes. But outside of career, I did not know what I wanted. I didn't have conversations with people about what I want. People will always feel comfortable to tell me what they want, what they looking for, what they not going to deal with. And I was respectful. Like, I would ask questions, of course, because I'm inquisitive. I will ask her, so why are you setting this sort of boundary? And I will respect it. But I never, ever did that for, well, as far as romantic relationship, cheating, I don't mess with that. But like other things, like if somebody did it, I'd be upset about it. I have a conversation, but then I'd be like, all right, whatever. But you have to know yourself, know what you like, know what you dislike, know what you want to put up with and what you don't. Like, that's a major key in setting boundaries, and stop living for others instead of for God and yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So that leads me into number 2, is when you are knowing who you are, you have to communicate and express that to somebody. Because people, like my mom always tell me, do not read minds. They try to. They might have a high sense of discernment, but they don't not always correct. And unless you tell them, how are they supposed to know? You can communicate and not be hostile. You can express yourself and not be mean about it. You have to tell people what you want, what you don't want, what you dislike, and not feel so I understand, and this is coming. Listen, a lot of times I felt so uncomfortable to express myself to others that I just would not do it because I just didn't want the hassle. I didn't want the problems. But that did nothing for me because once I left them and I was by myself with my own thoughts, I would cry. I would feel bad. I would be like, why is this happening? Da da da. But it's like, you got to take responsibility for that as well, Shay, because you never expressed that this is not what you like. This is not what you rock with. This is what you want. You have to be able to express that to people. Another thing with that is like we often compromise our feelings for others, which is not good. But compromising in general is good because once you're able to express yourself and communicate to whomever what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like, what you're not going to put up with, what's okay, they can tell you about themselves as well, the same things, and you guys could compromise and form like a better alliance or a friendship or whatever because you guys have now said this is me, this is me. Let's compromise together if we still want to be in each other's lives. And that goes for any sort of relationship. Trust, even your brother, even your sister, even your madre. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's not only about romantic relationships. We people please to a lot of people in our lives, especially the ones closest to us. We are scared or just don't want the hassle to set boundaries, and that's just not gonna, at the end of the day, our health is compromised by doing this, and we do not want to do that. We are not responsible for other people's feelings. We are not responsible for other people's feelings. This is something that I really came to grasp with in this year of my holy 40. I am not responsible for other people's feelings. They're going to get hurt. They may be disappointed. They may be angry. Whatever it is, by me setting boundaries and stop saying yes. But that is not my responsibility. I have to take care of my mental first, and so do you. It is okay. Stop trying to keep the peace. That's number 3. It is okay to stop trying to keep peace. Because you keeping peace is eating you up inside. Let's think about it. You're in this relationship, you know it is draining you. But you're still trucking along. You're still allowing said individual to say and do what they want because what? You want the title of a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a wife, a husband, a best friend. You want that title so badly that you just suck that all in. I researched this. Women who have PCOS got that from a lot of internal trauma. I don't know how true that is, but that makes a lot of sense. Like if you think about people who get like sick and really sick, where are they getting sick at? If you ask them about their life and things of that nature and what they got going on, it's like, it makes sense. If somebody has throat cancer, they usually, and I don't want to talk as fact, but just people that I've seen, like in real, like on social media, a perfect example is a person who said that they had throat cancer. They passed away, but I remember a lot of their interviews and things that they would talk about. They said they didn't really talk up for themselves. They didn't say much to defend themselves. They just let people do them, and they just worked around it. Their throat chakra at the end of the day was clogged up. So I honestly believe in stuff like that. I could be wrong, but I believe in things like that. So we are not in control of other people's feelings. We got to stop trying to hold peace when it's at the detriment of ourselves. Like, it's either you tell people what you want or don't want, and they respect it, they understand it, they have conversations with you about it, and they continue to be on the journey with you, or they have some pushback or rebuttals, then they could go. Because at the end of the day, it's about your health and your well-being. And also, keeping the peace, this might be controversial, but it is a form of manipulation, because you're trying to conform scenarios into like, I just want, instead of making it what it is. By you not trying to make peace, you having conversations with people and you're putting your foot down, can either make your relationships way better or remove the person out of your life who wasn't supposed to be there. I'm preaching if you're listening. Number 4, learn to say no. I am still working on this. I won't lie to you. I'm still learning how to tell people no. Yeah, I'm still learning how to tell people no, I don't like that, and like actually standing in it and not changing my mind because I just, what I said before, just didn't want the stress, don't want the problem. So I'm still working on that. It's okay to say no. It really is okay to say no. And you don't have to be an A about it. You don't have to like belittle somebody when you tell them no. You don't have to do any of this. You could just as kind as ever, as respectful as ever, as compassionate as ever, but you could still stand in your ground. For instance, if somebody keeps asking you for money repeatedly, and you just got paid and you got so much to do, but you always happen to give them, but then you're struggling at the end of the day, you could simply say, listen, I love you, and if I could help, I will. That's no problem. But in this time of my life, I can't keep giving you money because 1, when I give it to you, I'm struggling afterwards, and 2, I just don't want to. In this span of my life, I just don't want to. And sometimes you don't even have to give explanations. You can say no and stand in it. It's nice to give a reasoning, but you really don't have to. No is no. And be comfortable with saying no. Start off with little things. And then work your way up to the major things in your life. Number 5 is to learn to love yourself. I spoke about this a little bit in each factor and in the beginning, but for real, self-love is not selfish. And I had to learn this because I was raised by a single parent who did everything for her kids, and we did not even know there was points in times where we were struggling and she didn't have any food, because she would always bring us food and we always thought it was a treat, but like that was her only meal of the day and we didn't know that. You understand what I'm saying? And I always put in my head, like, we gotta put people first, we gotta take care of others before ourselves. We can't, you know what I'm saying, just off of things like that. And yeah, that's good, but on the flip side of that is like what they say on the airplane, you gotta put your mask on before you put on somebody else's. That's how sometimes we gotta move. Like, my mental health and my mental clarity, my heart posture, everything has to be good within me first before I'm able to do anything for you. So these are my 5 tips with setting boundaries and stop people pleasing. If you have any other thoughts, please leave it in the comment box below, and please be gentle with us recovering people pleasers. Like, we've been doing this for some years, some decades. We still are learning. We still gonna take our time. Things are not, it can't happen overnight. And be gentle on yourselves, most importantly. Take it one step at a time. If you have any tips for anybody else that I left out, please leave it in the comment box below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you have not checked out my first video review on The Chosen, child, what you doing? I drank some tea over there, and then I got another one coming on Sunday. Catch up, sis. Catch up, sir. Catch up, family. All right, y'all. See you in the next video. Peace out.